Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Ryan, a chiropractor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I wanted to talk to you about foot pain. Now, foot pain isn't something you ordinarily think of seeing a chiropractor for, but it really ought to be the first thing that you think. Most foot pain comes from your foot joints being out of place, and there's a whole bunch of joints down there. Starts up in your heel, where your foot bends up and down like this. If this was your foot, that's one of the main things it does. A lot of people, when their foot hurt, their foot is actually stuck like this, so that every time they go to walk, it puts pressure on that joint and it hurts. I see a whole bunch of people, they've gone to their doctor and they've got, I have plantar fasciitis. See it all the time, hear it pronounced 100 different ways. But what it means is you have pain on the bottom of your foot. Well, I've found that pain on the bottom of your foot usually is some of the joints in your feet not working right. You know, either it's the tarsal bones, which are the big bones in your feet, or the metatarsal bones, which are the joints in your feet that are essentially the fingers that come out just before your toes, and you know, the points through this part, up through this area in your foot. So, you know, if we were looking at your foot, there are just a tremendous amount of joints. And I hear all the time, well, how does a joint go out of place in my foot? And you know, almost my answer is, well, it just does sometimes. You step wrong, you twist wrong, you come down on your heel wrong, you know, something happens and it just goes out of place. It's really hard to say what happens, but you can know that it certainly does. And for the patients that I've seen, after you correct that, it's like people walk out of here and they, this is just unbelievable. My feet were just killing me, and every time I walked out it hurt. And you know, and most people can walk out and feel okay. Sometimes it takes a few adjustments to get it back in place, depending on how long you've left it that way or the severity of what's happened to it. But I mean, you almost don't have to roll your ankle to have your foot out of place. I mean, it just happens sometimes, just kind of essentially just doing nothing. You're just, you know, may not even know that you did anything. All you know is, shoot, my foot really hurts. So what I really want you to take away from this is that chiropractic is something that, with a foot, you should think of first. You should really think of it before getting a cortisone injection in your foot, before you put heel lifts or orthotics that could be in your shoe that can be expensive. And I'm not, you know, I send people out for orthotics all the time. Sometimes they really work great for you, but before you put an orthotic in your shoe, you should have the joints of your feet working properly. It makes a whole big difference on how that foot works with that. Orthotics don't work so great if your joints are fixated and not moving properly. So I hope this provided you some really good information on using a chiropractor for foot pain. Thank you very much.